Coach, you just start general thoughts on the game tonight.
Well, you come away with, our 8th win of the year after finals I'm excited about that. There's no doubt about that. You have 8 days off after a very emotional 2 games, Bradley and Illinois State. Our guys had a really good week of practice. They really did. And then we came out and played against a team that is extremely well coached today. And played their tails off. And that sounds, I don't mean to diminish it like I'm above Coach Gray or anything like that. What he has done with that program and his work ethic, he represents SIUE well. He's one of us. And I mean that. I've seen him on the road recruiting. I've seen he's in the gym all the time. He puts the time in. I'm probably the stupid one for scheduling him because I knew they were going to come in and fight. And I thought our guys did a good job. 21 assists, 4 turnovers. Says a lot about our growth offensively. Defensively, we had some miscommunications. We had some mistakes. They exposed us on some things. We need to clean up some things. There's no doubt about that. But when it's all said and done, I think we had 21 assists, 4 turnovers, and 11 block shots, which might be tie to school history as well. And then coming away with some production from guys like Jalen Hodge, who really turned the game around, but he did a great job. And Desmond Polk was off the charts. And then seeing our guys' excitement about those guys impacting the game and getting D1 Pruitt back in there too. He hasn't played in 4.5 weeks. So going out there, he was going to be a little bit to different speed in games but he's been working his tail off in practice. So we're fully loaded, I think. Moving forward, almost.
I know you touched on it a little bit, the 11 blocks, like you said, ties a school record. You just talked a little bit about your interior defense.
Well, it's activity. I think that's when you got Jonathan Curtis. That's a tough game for him. We're switching 5 ways at one point, and he's doing something that he doesn't usually do. But I thought he really impacted the game the first half. I had some nice blocks. Terrence Thompson, Lamar and Shamar coming. A lot of our blocks were on the weak side, and that's team defense. You're coming from the help, and it's activity. It's having your guys back, for lack of a better term. And I thought when we needed to get some of those deflections and some of those blocks, we had each other's back in important moments.
59% from the floor, I believe that's a season high. Can you talk a little bit about your shooting today?
Well, it's you have 21 assists, so I think what was happening, Ray came out and took the right shots early, made I think 3 or 4 threes pretty quick, but they were the right shots. And when someone sees the ball go in, other guys like seeing the ball go in. It's helpful, but there was 21 times that I gave the ball to you and made your shot better. That was when we wanted good for great. It was one of our mindset, one of our keys today. So I think that when you have that many opportunities to get a good for great shot, your percentage is going to go up 59%. I'll take that all year if we could. That'd be nice. But I think it was because we played very good team offensive basketball today for the most part.
I know you touched on it a little bit in the beginning, protecting the basketball, only 4 turnovers today. Is that something that you guys have been working on?
It's important, yeah, because we'll get higher possessions than some teams. We get up and down. So you're gonna, the ratio of turnovers is gonna sometimes look worse, but it's always something you want to limit all your turnovers, right? So we're gonna live with some aggressive turnovers. We're gonna live with a little bit of that because of the style that we play, but we needed to not have the ones really in the half court, the lack of aggressive ones, the poor execution ones, and today I don't even know what the 4 were. I think 1 might have been a charge, but what the other 3 were, I think. It was a good focus of us this week, and they carried it over. These guys did.
Okay. Yeah, just some general things. I asked the guys about what you gained with the Longwood event, going there, playing 3 good teams, boom, 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 you win the event, tough games. It seems like that tremendous value to the group to do something like that. That's significant, and it seems like it's preparing you to try to really make noise in the conference.
Yeah, I mean, you set up your preseason, your non-conference schedule to simulate or emulate what you're going to see in conference, whether it's you play on a Thursday, Saturday sometimes, whether you play 3 games in a row on the road, whether whether you travel day of a game. We've done all those type of things this year to try to emulate what we're going to see in conference. Obviously, 3 games in a row, you'd like that to be a conference tournament setting. And I thought our guys really responded, especially after a tough emotional loss at Fort Wayne. All right, that was like a conference game for us. That's a conference opener on, highly, I think they're preseason favorites, Horizon League. Then you go into Missouri. You don't perform like you want to, but you got to travel and you got to figure it out. And those 3 games really, our guys bought into, all right, we need to be better. And they did that. And we got, I think, 4 on the road in a row with Kansas City. Came back against St. Ambrose. We strung 6 together against a really good Troy team. And then you have 2 more, like what we would say, conference opponents. You have Bradley, you have Illinois State. And so we tried to simulate and emulate a lot of that. And I think our guys, I would like to think it prepares us moving forward into OVC play.
How exciting was it for you? The outcome didn't excite you, but the game with Bradley, old boss, the place was a lot of energy, and that's where SIUE is trying to go. I mean, that is what you're hoping for, that type of opportunity.
No, there's no doubt. Yeah, absolutely. Outcome, yes. We would have liked 3 more points. But it was neat sitting on that ground. I'm comfortable saying it. You look on that court and you felt the energy that was different than in the past. And it's stuff that we've built to create an environment. We have phenomenal fans here. They're sports fans, right? I mean, you got the Cardinals, you got the Blues, you got, I don't know if we talk about the Rams anymore, but like we had the Rams. But there are sport fans here. And, we want to go out there and represent them the right way within the community. And it was a great atmosphere. And then, yeah, on a personal level, it's pretty cool when you're sitting there with your roommate or your college teammate, and you're looking down on the other end, and you guys are both standing up, making play calls. That's a special moment. There's no doubt about it. We talk about putting family into basketball, never taking basketball away from family. I think it's a very important thing. Those type of moments, or you're always trying to build towards putting family into basketball. And that was a put family in basketball moment for me on a personal level. Now, I got to listen to him moving forward, getting us, but we got another opportunity.
And you talk about that with your group here. You've built some roster continuity, which is very difficult. And you've got guys that have been around, particularly the Wright brothers. It's hard at this level to do that. It's hard in college basketball. It's hard in college sports to do that, the way things are now. But it does seem like you've been able to accomplish that to some degree. And it's obviously pays off because it seems like the group is a good group.
Mm-hmm. You have to work on it. I mean, you do. And it was, I got into coaching because of my dad's Creighton teams. That's just like, I could name that roster. I could remember the Thanksgiving dinners. I can remember the trip to Italy. I can remember the close games, the blowouts, the losses, the cries, all that kind of stuff. And all of that was more like the stuff behind the scenes that I remembered. And when I look at what my mom and dad did to build Creighton to where they were at that point, and then you moved on to Texas A&M, is so much of it was non-basketball. So much of it was a player's mom had passed away and he's staying with us for a week because he didn't know where else to go. So much of it was, me hanging out with the little brothers of the Chad Gallaghers of the world and things like that were playing on my dad's team. There was a genuine family atmosphere, and a lot of programs do that. I'm not the only one that tries to do that, but you have to work on it. And one of my dad's players said, "Put family into basketball." Coach Barone never took it away, took family out of it. And that was at his funeral. And it always stuck to me when about 12 or 11 of those Creighton guys were standing up, crying, telling funny stories. And that saying was amazing. So I think that, any decision you make, it's all about, obviously, wins and losses and having success. But are you doing what you need to do in terms of the environment and the culture you're building? Are you putting family into basketball? Or are you taking it away? And I think that's my wife's phenomenal. My kids are unbelievable about it, and that's been a focus with us. And that's why I think we've had some pretty good retention and guys that understand that I believe in them, and I appreciate that they believe in us as well.
And generally speaking, I don't know if the average fan realizes just how hard it is, at this level, just in general. You know, I look at Brad Korn and what he's been up against, and he's had less success keeping some guys. Simo's had a lot of trouble with retention. You look at, Donna Carbondale, great coaching, but it's a battle in a deep conference. And it's just, now, Lindenwood's got a good coach, Kyle's a good coach, but he's starting from scratch and he's trying to build. Because one of the hardest things you can do in sports is coaching, trying to build a program, giving all the poaching that occurs and the way the business is, the competitive side, it's pretty treacherous. And so to try to succeed and win and do it the right way is, it's a huge undertaking.
It's hard because, we've had some guys. I actually have, there's a guy, Sean Dawsey, who actually went back to Arkansas Pine Bluff and was on our team last year. I was talking with him about 3 weeks ago. He's like, "Can I call you, coach?" And he went back home, and he's a guy that left us. And to me, we were just like, I understood. I get that it's going to happen at times. But if your relationships are genuine, the hardest thing to do, in my opinion, I said it to our team the other day, to be honest, in coaching, all right, you have to, and then build relationships. Well, we can all draw a play, all right? And a lot of times it's put the ball in your best player's hand and have him go get a play. Let's figure it out. But if you can be genuine and honest to your team and you can work on that relationship every day, that's, in my opinion, coaching. Because sometimes I have to tell him, you aren't doing this well. You're not I love you, but you are not doing this well. You're not guarding. You're not boxing out. I'm not playing you. All right, and it cannot be personal. It has to be about the basketball side of it. And I am not an expert in it by any means, but I do know that I hear my mom and dad talking about it. I hear my mentors, the Tim Buckley, the Tom Creans. What we did at Green Bay. We had great retention at Green Bay, and you work on it. And then if it doesn't work out, all right, you got to still have those true, genuine relationships. And then you figure it out for the next one. And right now our guys like each other too. They believe in each other. And it started with their families. I should have said that to start. Their families are off the charts. We have some really good families involved in my team right now.
Good. Well, I'll let you get back to your family now.
Family.